Salamat berjumpa lagi. Welcome to Asean Today. I'm Dalton Tanonaka of the Indonesia channel at the ASEAN Secretariat in Jakarta.
Mabuhay! I'm Paganiban-Perez of the Philippines' GMA network in Manila. And this is your monthly look at the dynamic Southeast Asia region. ASEAN member states strongly condemned the attack on the French satirical newspaper that left 12 people dead. Indonesia, Malaysia, Singapore, and Vietnam issued statements immediately following the January 7th shootings at Charlie Hebdo in Paris. They offered condolences to the families of victims killed by gunmen in retaliation over anti-Islamic cartoons said to be blasphemous.
Recovery efforts continued throughout January in the crash of AirAsia Flight 8501 here in Indonesia. Divers tried numerous times to lift the fuselage of the jetliner from the ocean floor in the Java Sea. Strong currents were the main obstacle in securing lines and balloons. Many of the 162 victims are believed to be still inside.
Masih ada dugaan-dugaan untuk memperkuat optimisme kita melakukan tugas operasi, yaitu mencari dan mengkonfirm kembali pada 9 titik itu, utamanya adalah untuk mencari korban, bukan ngangkat. Ngangkat itu kalau korban sudah tidak bisa ditemukan atau diduga masih ada tetapi tidak bisa diambil dengan menyelam, baru itu diangkat.
Flight 8501 crashed on December 28th while flying from Surabaya to Singapore. Bad weather is believed to be a factor. Indonesia executed 6 convicted drug smugglers, including 5 foreigners on January 18th. 4 men from Brazil, Malawi, Nigeria, and the Netherlands, and 1 Indonesian woman were killed by firing squads on Nusa Kambangan Island. The 6th person was a woman from Vietnam executed in Boyolali. This raised diplomatic protests from Brazil and the Netherlands. President Joko Widodo rejected clemency requests in December. And a court in northern Vietnam sentenced 8 people to death for trafficking 189 kilograms of heroin. 5 defendants in the smuggling ring were sentenced to life in prison, while 17 others got 6 to 20 years. Vietnam has some of the world's toughest drug laws. Possessing or trafficking 100 grams of heroin is punishable by death.
Thailand's National Assembly voted to impeach former Prime Minister Yingluck Shinawatra. This was over a rice subsidy program that authorities say cost billions of dollars in state losses. The January 23rd vote means Yingluck will be banned from politics for 5 years. She also faces 10 years in prison if convicted on separate criminal charges. The former leader questioned the fairness of the investigation. Singapore's Prime Minister announced plans to fight corruption as the island nation seeks to maintain its clean image. Lee Hsien Loong said on January 13th that a one-stop corruption reporting center is being created, along with increasing manpower at the Corrupt Practices Investigation Bureau. Singapore fell 2 spots to 7th place in the 2014 Index of Perceived Corruption released by global watchdog Transparency. The fall was due to high-profile corruption cases involving senior civil servants in 2013. But Singapore retained its ranking as Asia's cleanest country. The leader of the world's Roman Catholic Church made a successful visit to the home of Asia's biggest following. Pope Francis wrapped up his Asian tour on January 18th with this outdoor mass here in Manila, drawing 6 million people. He earlier met with President Benigno Aquino, raising the issues of poverty and social injustice. The pontiff also visited Tacloban, where Typhoon Haiyan caused catastrophic damage in 2013. We hear his message to Filipinos shortly in this program.
Myanmar is set to open its first official stock exchange by October this year. The Yangon Stock Exchange will be operated by the Myanmar Economic Bank in partnership with Japan's Tokyo Stock Exchange and Daiwa Securities. Myanmar passed the Securities and Exchange Law in July 2013 to pave the way for the launch of this exchange. Myanmar has moved to liberalize its economy as part of wider reforms, hoping to attract international companies. And Indonesia Indonesian banks now have easier access to operate in Malaysia. Central banks in both countries agreed on criteria that would allow Indonesian banks more benefits. Still being discussed are the points that will earn banks a qualification known as ASEAN banks. There are 3 Malaysian banks presently operating in Indonesia, while only 1 Indonesian bank is in Malaysia.
They're called the Sweetheart Islands, and after decades of isolation, are attracting tourists to Cambodia. Asean Today's Andita Winda reports on the business and social impact of the new wave of visitors.
Nestled in the Koh Rong archipelago in Cambodia's remote southwest are the twin islands of Koh Wind and Koh Bong. The islands, also known as Song Sa or the Sweethearts, were opened for business in 2011. Song Sa Private Island, located in a self-made marine reserve spanning over the Twin Islands, is Cambodia's first private island resort aimed at the wealthy looking for privacy in a pristine location. In 2006, the resort's founders, Rory and Melita Hunter, paid $15,000 for the land rights and secured a 99-year lease from the Cambodian government. The cost of developing the private island was around $22 million. But the couple also had the island's inhabitants in mind when they decided to develop the resort.
They were mainly fishermen, and the waters were overfished, and it was becoming harder and harder and harder for them to make a living. This therefore meant that they were being forced into the rainforest. They started to log trees and trap wildlife and all of these sorts of things. So when we were here talking to them, we realised that maybe if there was some sort of sustainable tourism model, this might be able to help with health and education.
The fishermen around here used to earn around 100,000 reals or $25 per day, but now they only earn around 40,000 reals or less than $10.
អញ្ចឹងពីមុនមកការនេសាទយើងសេរីទៅកន្លែងណាក៏បានណាអាចបានតែឥឡូវរាជរដ្ឋាភិបាលលោកកំពុងអភិរក្សនៅតំបន់ត្រីពងនៅតំបន់ស្មៅដោយយើងបានធ្វើនឹងកំពុងធ្វើសពថ្ងៃហើយអញ្ចឹងហេតុផលនេះវាចេញជាវិជ្ជមានទី1គឺការគោរពច្បាប់នៃនេសាទទី2គឺផលនេសាទនេះវាចែកគ្នាច្រើនអញ្ចឹងបងប្អូនវិលមករកមុខរបរថ្មីណាដូចជាដឹកភ្ញៀវទេសចរក្នុងតំបន់ហើយក៏ធ្វើផ្នែកកសិកម្មដើម្បីបានផលចំណេញខ្លះបើយើងគិតតែនេសាទអញ្ចឹងផលយើងធ្លាប់រកបានមួយយប់ 10,000 យើងថយមកនៅ 40,000 អញ្ចឹងយើងកាត់សហួយយើងអត់រួចបាទ
Now that fishing has declined, locals are keen for employment from tourism. The Song Sa resort employs around 230 people, 90% of which are locals. There are 27 villas to choose from, ranging in cost from $1,336 to a hefty $5,153 per night. They are constructed mostly out of locally sourced materials, including tons of wood salvaged from old fishing boats. The price range for these villas is $600,000 to $1.75 million. The neighboring island of Koto is a former fishing village recently turned into a popular backpacker destination. Fishing and logging were once the mainstays of the local economy, but today guest houses, bars, and restaurants are everywhere, promising islanders higher salaries and an easier life.
I think what most people enjoy more about coming down to this part, these sort of islands in Cambodia, is that they're not quite as they haven't had quite as much tourism done to them over the years as some islands in this part of the world have. You still come down here and get a taste of some local life if you can venture to some of the little villages, get to know some of the locals, the fishermen who work in and around here with their families and own businesses. It's definitely an emerging sort of part of the world for the island life.
To protect the tourism industry, local people are working together to ensure visitors have an enjoyable time. Businesses employ a group of local women to collect the large amount of rubbish left behind by tourists. Paper is burned and bottles and cans are bagged and shipped back to the mainland for recycling. But along with the jobs and investment put into the island, there are risks and social issues that are sometimes associated with a rise in tourism.
Tourism has incredible potential to benefit local communities in the archipelago. People can get jobs working for different tourist providers. They can get to sell foodstuffs and resources to the resort. But on the other hand, if tourism develops in an unplanned or unstructured way, it can be really detrimental. They can lose access to places they traditionally had access to. It can result in crime and basically unsustainable development.
Although the risks are big, the area's popularity continues to grow as many people seek to escape the crowds in neighboring Thailand. Andita Winda for ASEAN Today.
More ASEAN Today is coming up shortly.
His visit was a major event to begin the new year in the Philippines. And Pope Francis lifted spirits with a message on social justice. He's in our hot seat.
Getting it from the source means getting it right. Today's Indonesia provides all sides of the story, from lawmakers to business leaders. Indonesia's only global English language program spotlights the people, places, and issues in the world's fourth biggest country. Along with the country's sharpest analysts, the Today's Indonesia team has you covered. Only on the Indonesia Channel. The best of Bali, only on the Indonesia Channel.
Hi, I'm Lorraine Hahn, and this is Executive Golf. Good shot. It's going in. In. Oh!
Executive Golf, only on the Indonesia Channel.
For men, height matters. For women, size matters.
Am I wearing your beautiful dress today?
Thank you.
It's excellent. I love it.
Love is just the start. Indonesia.
I can do this.
My heart always warm from the cold. A very beautiful place and a friendly smile.
Apa kamu pikir karena kamu korban penganiayaan, lalu kamu berhak membunuh orang?
Xin chào and welcome to ASEAN Today.
programs Cool People on the Indonesia Channel.
You're watching Asean Today. I'm Dalton Tanonaka in Jakarta.
And I'm Tina Paganiban-Perez in Manila. It was here where the leader of the Catholic Church made a highly anticipated visit in January. Pope Francis had inspirational words for the largest Catholic following in Asia, beginning with religious tolerance.
Non si può provocare, non si può insultare la fede degli altri, non si può prendere in giro la fede. Essential to the attainment of these national goals is the moral imperative of ensuring social justice and respect for human dignity. The great biblical tradition enjoins on all peoples the duty to hear the voice of the poor. It bids us break the bonds of injustice and oppression, which give rise to glaring and indeed scandalous social inequalities. Do you love me? Then thank you very much. As the bishops of the Philippines have rightly taught, the Church in the Philippines is called to acknowledge and combat the cause of the deeply rooted inequality and injustice which mar the face of Filipino society, plainly contradicting the teachings of Christ. The Gospel calls individual Christians to live lives of honesty, integrity, and concern for the common good. Now, at the end of my visit to the Philippines, I commend you to Him, to Jesus who came among us as a child. May He enable all the beloved people of this country to work together, protecting one another, beginning with your families and communities, in building a world of justice, integrity, and peace.
Nakakalungkot po. Sa tagal po ng 20 years po yata bago uli nakabalik yung Pope dito. Ako po tuwan-tuwa. Sa 5 days po akong nagtiyaga sa kanya. Ngayon po nakita ko siya harapan.
Siyempre po mamimiss ko po siya. 2 beses ko lang po siya nakita eh. Lagi lang po sa motorcade, nakikita siya. So napakabilis lang po nung panahon.
We're happy because he came here, and also sad because we will not be able to see him, but in spirit, I'm blessed to see him.
During his visit, Pope Francis also called on the government to attack the problem of corruption. More Asean Today is coming up shortly.
We profile the woman who's making Indonesia's Papua province proud. And want a fresh glow? How about mollusk mucus? We explain next.
Getting it from the source means getting it right. Today's Indonesia provides all sides of the story, from lawmakers to business leaders. Indonesia's only global English language program spotlights the people, places, and issues in the world's 4th biggest country. Along with the country's sharpest analysts, the Today's Indonesia team has you covered. Only on the Indonesia Channel.
For men, height matters. For women, size matters.
wearing your beautiful dress today?
Thank you.
It's excellent. I love it.
Love is just the start. Indonesia.
I can do this.
My heart always warm from the cold. A very beautiful place and a friendly smile.
Apa kamu pikir karena kamu korban penganiayaan, lalu kamu berhak membunuh orang?
Xin chào and welcome to Asean Today.
Kau hanya memberiku, menyogokku dengan uang. Go Indonesia, go Indonesia, go Indonesia, go
Hot programs, cool people on the Indonesia Channel. The best of Bali, only on the Indonesia Channel.
Hi, I'm Lorraine Hahn, and this is Executive Golf. Good shot. It's going in. Oh!
Executive Golf, only on the Indonesia Channel.
This is Asean Today.
And we are coming to you this month from Manila and Jakarta. Indonesia's easternmost province is celebrating a historic milestone. Yohana Yembise is the first female cabinet minister from Papua charged with bettering the lives of women and children. Asean Today's Prisma Kinanti reports.
Born in 1958, Yohana Yembise is the first female minister from Indonesia's easternmost province of Papua. She now serves as the country's Minister of Women's Empowerment and Child Protection under President Joko Widodo's working cabinet. Many consider her appointment an historical move by the president as she comes from the country's most remote province. The 56-year-old was also the first woman from Papua to become a professor.
They're a bit, shocked to see if there is a lady from Papua can be a minister. They proud. Shocked because it's hard to see a lady to become a minister.
Local residents were overwhelmed with joy when they heard the news of Yembise's appointment. They believe Yembise will pledge to do anything for the betterment of Papua.
Hal ini membuat kami sebagai perempuan Papua bangga karena sejak kami berdiri sampai sekarang baru pertama kali menteri kami adalah seorang perempuan Papua. Dan ini Ibu Menteri membuat kami menjadi termotivasi agar ke depan kami pun akan bisa seperti Ibu Menteri.
Harapan saya besok lagi ada yang lebih bagus lagi dari yang ini.
Selama ini kan perempuan Papua belum pernah jadi menteri ya. Jadi ini jadi bagus juga, kami rasa bangga.
Yembise's main priority is to make sure that all children of Papua receive an impartial education. She was appointed by the president because of her endeavors in the education sector. Yembise obtained a doctoral degree at Newcastle University in Australia. From then on, her career has always focused on education, having served as a rector at Cendrawasih University in Jayapura, Papua. Yembise is committed to helping the children of Papua as she believes they can make significant contributions to Indonesian society.
So I have a very big burden to work with the president to bring these Eastern people towards a better life in the future, to move forward. Because we are in the era of globalization, and we have to bring them, to prepare them, so that one day they can be ready to compete in a global market.
Yembise has become a role model for Papua's local residents. Her work and commitment in the education sector is an inspiration for the young generation of Papua. Prisma Kinanti for Asean Today.
Here are several events on the Asean calendar. The Pindaya Cave Festival is set to run from March 1st to the 5th at the Sri Umin Pagoda Cave in Pindaya, Myanmar. The California rock band Incubus will power up at the Hard Rock Hotel in Singapore on March 9. And the Pattaya International Music Festival will run for 3 days from March 20th along the Pattaya Beach Road in Chonburi, Thailand. Customers seeking fresher faces are enjoying a unique treatment in Thailand. Asean Today's Chani Vatvani takes us to Chiang Mai, where sales are moving at a snail's pace.
Thailand is known as one of the world's top spa destinations. One spa clinic has its French owners adding an unusual ingredient to pamper its customers. Instead of a typical mask, therapists at this clinic apply live snails to customers' faces. Luc Champerot moved to Thailand 6 years ago and fell in love with the northern city of Chiang Mai. He and a fellow Frenchman set up a spa and a snail farm in 2014. Initially importing 100 Helix aspersa maxima snails from their homeland, the colony now boasts more than 30,000 snails.
We take care of our snail, same our family, same our baby. Ting ting.
The treatment begins as per usual, with the therapist cleaning the customer's face. After that, the snails are plucked from an aquatic display, washed off and applied to the face. The mollusks are then free to slither and slide around, leaving trails of slime as they go.
ตัวหอยทากจะมีคอลลาเจนนะคะมีกรดอีลาสตินแล้วก็อะลันโทอินวิตามินซีอะค่ะมันจะช่วยฟื้นฟูสภาพผิวอะค่ะผัดเซลล์ผิวที่ตายแล้วด้วยเมือกของมันนะคะ
Even though the fluid secreted by snails is known to have beneficial nutrients and antioxidants, there has been no significant scientific research of whether the benefits apply to human skin. With 14,000 microscopic teeth, the snails produce a slight but not unpleasant scratching when slithering on the face.
รู้สึกสบายนะคะเหมือนกับรีแลกซ์เบาๆบางครั้งมันจะมีฟันนะคะจิ๊กๆหน่อยๆใช่ค่ะมีฟัน มีฟันนิดหน่อยแต่ก็ทางพี่เขาก็จะแบบย้ายให้ค่ะแต่มันก็ไม่เจ็บมากมายนะคะโอเคค่ะไม่รู้สึกว่าไม่ชอบค่ะโอเค
The snail spa offers 2 different courses of treatment, 45 and 90 minutes long respectively. The basic price for the shorter session is $30. Riel Skincare Clinic Institute is located at the Malin residence and is open from 8:30 a.m. to 10 p.m. every day. Chandni Vatvani for Asean Today.
It is feedback time when we hear from you in the ASEAN region and throughout the world. And joining us with that, as always, is Durriti Siti Chanya. Come on in here, Dee, of the ASEAN Secretariat. Dee, how's it going?
Great, Dalton. Let's get to what people are saying. This was posted on our Facebook page. I am Yel Orotesa, President of the ASEAN Youth Leaders Association for the Philippines Charter. We would like to create a partnership with you. Happy to do it, Yel. Just tell us what you have in mind. We received this video email from the westernmost ASEAN member.
I'm a big fan for ASEAN Today. There are so many interesting stories to discover.
Dear Vivian, thanks for taking the time to tell us. Let us know what you're thinking or what you want to see on the program. Email us at ASEANTodayTV@gmail.com. Post something on our Facebook page or tweet us at ASEAN Today TV. And that's all for this month, Dalton.
All right, Dee, thank you very much.
Dalton and Dee, our final story this month is about 2 huge stars in Malaysia. Xing Xing and Liang Liang are attracting long lines every day at Kuala Lumpur's Negara Zoo. The giant pandas arrived in May last year as a gift from China to celebrate 40 years of bilateral ties. Only 180 visitors at a time are allowed to visit the panda area for a maximum 20 minutes. The pandas are on loan here for 10 years. And that's ASEAN Today for this month. I'm Tina Paganiban-Perez of the Philippines' GMA Network in Manila.
And I'm Dalton Tanonaka of the Indonesia channel in Jakarta. Thank you very much for watching and see you again next month.